One.
Hello, everybody, and I want to thank you for being here tonight for Are You Ready to Buy Something? Video series number 5. As you recall, in our journey to 7 videos, now being number 5, we started with Do you have a strategy? Um, are you able to get involved? How to educate yourself, explain your asset, and how to use your Troptions to buy something, which is video 5, which we're at right now. This is an exciting video for me because I think it's going to make it real simple for people to understand how to use Troptions. I think one of the problems that a lot of people have is they make it way too complicated and overthink how to use their Troptions and how to buy something. So we're going to do that step by step today or tonight. Now that you're educated, and I hope you're educated with the first 4 videos, brings you to this video. Um, now that you're educated, you must be able to explain your Troptions. And that's what we always say even on our website, it says, if you can't explain your Troptions, you'll never be able to use your Troptions. So people are only interested in what you're offering if you know what you're talking about. And that's one of the things that we talked about in some of the early videos is knowing how to explain the Troptions. You must practice your pitch and create a pitch so that it flows and that people understand what you're talking about and be able to answer the questions that are going to come up. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the slides tonight. Always start with the history of Troptions. Very important. Start from the beginning of Troptions. What make Troptions? How long has Troptions been here? Troptions started in 2003. 2004 we did Garland uh, filed with the SEC with Troptions, and then tell the story from there how Troptions was used as a barter coin, how in 2016 Troptions became a cryptocurrency. Tell the history of Troptions so people understand the lineage of where Troptions became from, what it was started with, and where it is today. Always have facts and website or links you can send to them. Very important. People are visual and they want to see things themselves. So always be able to back up the things that you say with facts that you can point the people to. Get your facts from the Troptions website, from derwoodsutton.com website, where we have a lot of videos, the Troptions University, the Facebook pages. We try to put factual stuff on there for everybody to understand. And that way you can revert the people back to those places so that you always have a reference of what you're talking about. Never cold call. Always send the information so that they have a chance to understand it. And the information is either the videos that we're doing or the Facebook, the email page that we send out that has all the Troptions information on it. Let the people have some time first. I had somebody call me yesterday and wanted me to get on the phone with somebody that they were talking about Troptions with. And I said to her, I said, did you send them the video? And she just kept on talking. Well, I want to get you on the phone with the guy. Well, I want to get you on the phone with the guy. And I had said, stop. I don't want to get on the phone with the guy. I want you to send the information to the guy and then let me get on the phone with the guy. Because by that time, the guy has been able to see and go through the information, understand what we're talking about. He doesn't even know what we're talking about if I just cold call him. Understand what we're talking about. And it does a couple things. One, if he's not interested, he'll just say he's not interested. And that way I didn't waste any time. But two, if he is interested or if he has some kind of inkling of interest, he's going to be able to visually see what we sent him, listen to other people talk about it, and have his own questions that we can answer so that we're that much farther down the pathway of introducing somebody to Troptions by preparing them with the information that they can look at their time. Don't waste time trying to convince people about Troptions. If they don't get it or they're arguing with you, don't even waste your time. There's too much low hanging fruit out there of people that are interested. Now that Bitcoin is hitting $46,000, Cryptocurrency is on TV, it's everywhere. So if the people still don't get it, don't waste your time. Let somebody else waste their time explaining what cryptocurrency is to people. One of the things that I think most people make a mistake in, as soon as they get Troptions, they want to go out and they want to buy a car, they want to buy a boat, they want to buy a four-wheeler, a motorcycle, a house, a truck, a business, a land. Don't try and trade for some of these things. Don't make your first trade your last trade. And the reason why I say that is because you're not educated yet enough with enough practice to go after these bigger things, because the more expensive the item is, the more sophisticated the person's going to be that's going to sell it, because more than likely a house is a large retail investment. If somebody has a house free and clear, I'd say he's a pretty sophisticated investor that has probably been around and knows what he's talking about. Doesn't necessarily mean he's an expert on cryptocurrency. It just means he's going to ask you different questions than a guy that's going to sell you a lawnmower um, that he paid for. Because the bigger the investment, the more sophisticated they're going to be, because they have cash, real cash tied up. So those are the guys you're going to have to bring your A game to. So don't try to buy something with them out the gate. Start small, crawl, walk, and run. That's what I always say: crawl, walk, and run. Take your time, and we're going to show you how to start small and what to do so that you can build up to exactly all of these things. All of these things on here I've done, but I didn't start out the gate doing all of these things. I had to do it in a different way, and there's a method to the madness. So don't make your first trade your last trade, because the other thing it will do, it will disappoint you when these people say no, because you're not sophisticated enough to talk to them yet. Make your first, and this is exactly what I was talking about, make your first trade small. Your first couple trades should be small. Trade something from a member of your family, and it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a chair, it can be a lawnmower, it can be a bicycle, it can be a table, anything small. Practice with them, listen to their questions and objections. Get somebody in your family that has something that you're looking for or want to buy, or you want to practice with them with something small. And again, it doesn't matter what it is, but listen to what they have to say, listen to their questions. This is how you're going to be able to answer other people's questions. When you feel comfortable that you can answer their questions, then the next step is explaining to them how to open up a wallet, whether it's a free wallet on freewallet.io or a counter wallet. Open up their wallet, open it up with them sitting there, show them, explain that to them. Once they've set up their wallet, now it's time to send them some Troptions. So now's the time to send whatever it is. If you buy a chair and you're going to send it, you buy, for the beautiful thing with Troptions is you don't have to have lump amounts. We can fractionalize it. So you can buy, send them $2 or $3, whatever it is. Once they open it up, your wallet, they open up the wallet, and you send them to Troptions, they're going to be able to see how fast the transaction is. And they're going to be amazed, because it's going to go from a wallet that they just had with nothing in it to $5, $10, whatever it is that you sent. That's very important for them to see. Now, on Counter Wallet, you can take them, if you have a laptop, to Counter Wallet, show them where their wallet is, show them where their Troptions is, show them how to look up the value so that they understand what the wallet is, get in the backside so that they can understand how to send their Troptions from Counter Wallet to somebody else. They could send their Troptions back to you. You could go back and forth. It's just so that they can see and feel comfortable with the transactions. Um, this is really when the people get really excited, when they can see the Troptions moving back and forth from their wallet, from like I said, an empty wallet to a full wallet, and then they get involved and they take it from their wallet and send it to somebody else. You completed a transaction for them that they can see how it moves and how it goes. Now, something that's very important, what a lot of people forget to do, is you have to explain to them about Bitcoin and how to get Bitcoin. Now, what I've done several times is I go ahead when I send them or they set up their wallet, I go ahead and send them some Bitcoin, just $10. Now, I put $100 in Bitcoin 3 years ago, and that balance has grown. Even with all the transactions I've done, I looked at the balance today and I had $1,100. That Bitcoin grew from $100, and all the transactions that I've been doing since 2018, 17, to over $1,100. So my actual Bitcoin has grown, and now I have more Bitcoin that I can do more transactions with. So that's a beautiful thing. Um, Always take time to, this will give them extra options. And I always give people extra options when I do a deal with them. If they're looking for $100, I normally give them $120. Durwood gives them, $200. To make it worth their while. Always put what Spud likes to say is a sweetener on the deal to make them even that much more interested. Because now remember, if they were going to get the dollar and you gave them $100, it's still going to be $100 a year later. If you give them $100 in Troptions, it could be three, four, five, or $600 or even more a year later. So I always like to sweeten the pie, give them a little extra, let them get excited. That way they can give some Troptions to another friend and family member and keep the cycle going. It's very important that you explain how Troptions work, but some people are visual and they must need to read about everything you just showed them. So again, this is where I go back and say, be able to show them the links on free wallet, counter wallet, and any of the facts that you're talking about when you talk to them, because it's very important that they understand. Again, the email that we send out that has all the Facebook pages, because I had somebody call me the other day and says, I don't know where to look to find anything out about Troptions. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, we have 10 pages on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Pinterest. We're on Facebook. We're on, Tumblr. You name it, we're on it. We're on all of them. So if you don't know where to look for Troptions, you need to go to Google Troptions, xtroptions.gold, or you can Google Troptions.gold. You can Google just X options, and it's all going to bring up things about Troptions. I like to, instead of confusing them with all the rubbish out there on all cryptocurrency, I myself like to send them that flyer so that they have, and they can go quickly to YouTube, YouTube videos, and they can see the things that we've done with Troptions and all the other links so they can get right to it. Don't waste time sorting out a bunch of stuff. Go directly to the place where all the information is about Troptions. Why do you want to start small? You need to build up the confidence on what you say and what you don't say. It's very important when you go do a deal to be confident in the asset that you have. Only deal in facts. You don't need to make anything up about Troptions. We have more than enough proof of fact out there so that it's all, just tell the people exactly what we've done. And we've done these things. You're not making anything up, and there's no reason for you to make anything up. So practice with your family, your pitch with your family. It makes it easier than with a stranger. So a family member, sit down a family member, ask them to take that you want to take an hour of their time, go through the process of buying something from them, explaining your pitch, listening to what they have to say, what their questions are. The more people that you talk to that will ask different questions. Now, one thing I've learned is that there's only so many questions that somebody's going to ask. They're all pretty basic for people that are new into the industry. So get down the hear what they have to ask and hear what you want to what needs to be in your pitch. Very important. Um, Tell them if you can't explain it good enough to them to not to trade the item with you. I've done that where I said, if I can't explain this good enough to you, just say no to me. Okay, let's start all over. So I would rather have my friends and family tell me, no, I'm not going to sell it to you because I didn't do a good job, than having a strangers just say no and hang up the phone and I never ever have that chance again. Because the minute you open your mouth, it tells who you are and it tells what you have. And if you're not confident with that and don't have the facts, then you're not going to be able to buy anything with Troptions. And again, it goes right back to, if you can't explain it, you'll never be able to use it. Um, Notes are okay when you're sitting with your friends and your family, but not with a stranger. When you deal with a stranger, of course, you want to know exactly the pitch that you're going to use. I like to do elevator pitches. You can do um, regular pitches as far as buying when people, we're going to talk about that a little later on, of getting on the phone and making some cold calls, when to make cold calls, when not to make cold calls. Trade for 10 things with friends and family. Buy 10 different little things. Go to with your brother, your sister, your mother, your aunt, your uncle. Buy something from them. Explain it to them. Go to people that you have that don't know anything about cryptocurrency. Try your pitch on them. See how good it is. And once you traded something with your Tropsons, you now have a story to talk about. And the story is very important, especially in cryptocurrency, because it's such a buzzword right now. Everybody is interested in, how did you get involved, how did you start, what made you interested, how did you learn all this, what can I do with all this, what are you doing with all of this. Be able to tell your story and make points. Without points, you never have a present point without a story. Never tell a story without a point, and never present a point without a story. There, I said it that way. That's better that way. um, Once you feel comfortable with speaking to strangers, you can start making calls. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with making calls, because really, to me, if you're not in front of a person, a call is basically the easiest thing to do, because if they hang up, they hang up. If they're in front of you, you're sitting there looking at each other, and it could be very uncomfortable. But when you get your pitch down, you're confident, it doesn't matter who you talk to. um, Doug talks to people at the grocery store, at the gas station. I mean, he talks to people everywhere, but every time he's talking to people, he hears another question that he might not have been able to answer before that now he can answer. He has an explanation for that. And he can also tighten up and sharpen his skills with his speech about Troptions, the asset that he has. Always, and many times people have called me, always have somebody else that you can call if there's a question you can't answer, or something that you want to verify. Third party credibility is always the way to go. um, it just creates a bigger strength from somebody on the phone telling the people that you just told something to the exact same thing. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to call this guy and tell him to tell you this. No, pick up the phone, call somebody, a partner that you have, somebody else in the tribe that understands and knows the facts. And that way, when you create the facts and tell the facts to somebody, and you pick up the phone and talk, you're telling the same facts that that person just did. I do that a lot. Doug has called me up, and I tell the people something and they go, yeah, Doug just said that. That's third party credibility. Doug, nobody, Doug never called me and told me he was going to call me up. He just called me up right in front of the people and did the third party credibility. So that's very important. Once you perfected the small deal, it's time to move on to the bigger deal. Remember it, a bigger deal isn't harder to trade for. Don't think just because now you're to the fact that you understand and you've done small deals, just change the gear from a lawnmower to a motorcycle. Same pitch, just a different thing. But you're going to feel a lot more comfortable because you have the practice and you have your pitch down and you know your facts. You have to be confident. Um, your confidence is going to be the key to the sale. If you go in there bumbling and stumbling, people are going to wonder. You know, one of the things that Les Brown used to say was, if you go in there with um, what you do is you take away the point of what you're trying to get to with the annoying and they take their focus away from what you're saying to be annoyed by the That also shows you don't know your trade, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're not prepared. So no ums. Get the ums out of there and get your pitch down. Practice in front of a mirror, but you have to be confident in what you're doing. The larger the deal, the more sophisticated the trailer. So you have to know your facts. These people can start coming out and start saying stuff about what they think about cryptocurrency or what they heard about cryptocurrency. Most of them are going to be talking about their past with Bitcoin or their future with Bitcoin, or what they think about Bitcoin and what they've heard about Bitcoin. Those are things that you have to overcome. And in fact, Bitcoin is a great thing for the Troption holders. As you all heard this week, I think Elon Musk came out and said bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, and he did it to put on his balance sheet. We talked about earlier in our videos about different ways to use Troptions, and one of them is to put it on your balance sheet. We've been doing that for 2 years. Musk comes out, and now it's like a wonderful thing. You can use cryptocurrency to put on your balance sheet. I want to thank him for that, because all he did was verify what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Use your crypto on your balance sheet. If it's good enough for Tesla, it's good enough for you. Be realistic about the price you offer the people for the item. That's why I always say, sweeten the deal with the sweetener. Give them a little more. They want 100, give them 150. Give them more. Make the deal worth their while. So one, they're going to listen to you because you're making them more money. Two, you have the facts to back it up. Three, you gave them the information that they need so that they can make investment decision, because it's not only just buying something from people, but they're actually getting an investment that increases in value. So it's a little more than just buying something and giving them the cash and going away. Um, One of the things you have to remember these people bought this with cash, not with crypto. So you're buying it with your crypto asset. They're buying it. They bought it with their cash. So it's a paradigm shift from where they were with when they bought it with cash and what they actually wanted before you came and started talking to them about crypto. So keep that in mind. You're bringing the people in slowly and understanding it's a paradigm shift. Not everybody's going to get it. You're going to get some people that understand it right away. You're going to get other people that just don't get it, or that need to have more visual time to understand it. That's okay. But remember where their dilemma is they have bought this with cash, and now you're buying it with crypto. Always create the must have when trading something. That the takeaway will always work. Now, sometimes the best way to do it is to walk away from a deal. Sometimes is instead of arguing and haggling about something, the best thing to do is to walk away or to take away the offer and say you can go somewhere else, because you can go other places. There are other people that will um, take your Troptions. So sometimes the best deal is to just walk away and be done with the deal. The more knowledge you have about your Troptions, the easier it is to create a win-win deal. And that's really important, because now when you understand all the different things that you can do with Troptions after you're having a conversation and spending time, one of the things I always like to tell people is ask them, what else do they do? You know, we're talking about a car, but hey, what else do you do? What do you do? You know, what is your job? You never know who you're going to talk to. Might be talking to a banker, might be talking to a movie guy, might be talking to a trader. You might be, who knows what you're going to find out and who you're talking to. There might be other opportunities in that conversation, but you won't know unless you ask them. Now that you're on the phone, you have their ear, they're excited, you're getting them excited, they're interested in what you have to offer them. This is a time to open up and find out what else they have, because again, you can open up bigger opportunities. Now, everybody's not going to accept Troptions. You may have to do it as a part Troptions and part cash. I do a lot of deals with part Troptions and part cash, and that is still a win. As long as I'm using my Troptions and not cash, I'm ahead of the game. Just keep that. Remember that. You use your Troptions to leverage, you are still ahead of the game. You are cashing out, because whenever you sell that item, if you decide to sell it, I bought jet skis, I bought cars, and I've used Troptions and I've used cash. But when I sell it, I don't sell it for other crypto. I sell it for cash because I want to cash out. So the amount of Troptions that I put in there, and the amount of cash I put in there, I not only get all my cash back, but I got the cash for the Troptions. So I just converted my Troptions into cash. It's another way to do it. You still have a win-win when you do that. So don't think, if somebody says, well, I don't know, don't walk away from the deal because they say, I don't know, or I'm not sure. Tell them, okay, well, I can sprinkle a little cash in there, and I can, how about half with Troptions and half with cash? That's a way to do it. And I think everybody, it's still a win-win for everybody involved. Where do you find sales leads? Well, you can find sales leads in Facebook groups, buy, sell, and trade, Craigslist, pull up anything for sale and hit the crypto asset box on the side of Craigslist. There's, when you pull up cars or boats or motorcycles or whatever, on the left-hand corner or left-hand side is um, a box where you can click crypto, and that's boxes that people said that they will accept crypto. So that's a place to go right off the bat, because you know that those people are interested in crypto. So that becomes from a cold sale to a warm buy, from a cold buy to a warm buy, because they're already looking for crypto. Online marketplaces, you can place ads, your own ads in Facebook of things looking to purchase with cryptocurrency. I forget who told, Gary told me that he put ads out, and he had bought trailers in Florida. He's bought land I think it was Arkansas or Tennessee. He's bought cars, and people have seen his ad and actually called him. He didn't even have to go looking, which I thought was very, very smart. So he did that in Craigslist, and people responded to the ad. Meetup groups is a great way to find things that people might have to go, like we talked about earlier in some of the videos earlier, of where to find people. When we were talking about how to get involved, we talked about meetup groups. Meetup groups are groups where people that have cryptocurrency go, and they want to talk, and they learn, they educate, they bring in speakers, and those are people that would have things for sale. They have stuff too. They may have a car, they may have a boat, they may have a jet ski, may have a motorcycle, they may have a couch, who knows? They may have TVs, who knows? Durwood's bought all kinds of things. Doesn't have to just be cars, boats. I mean, what about TVs? What about furniture? What about the other necessary things that you need in life? We bought animals, cows, horses. We bought it all with Troptions. So you never know. Of course, friends and family, always your family go first and see if they want to buy something. Their friends may buy something, word of mouth. Church members, while you're in church, you know, the people communicate and mingle in church. You may know somebody that might want to buy something. So there's all kinds of places where you can find people that are interested, um, that want to sell something, and you can buy something with your cryptocurrency. So these are some of the places where you can go. I'm sure there's more, but we just want to get you thinking on some of the things. Like I say, Gary had a great idea and actually put the ad in himself, and people called him. I love that. That way it saves him from getting on the phone and trying to convince or trying to talk somebody into something new. He already knows when the phone rings. These are people that are warm, ready to sell or buy something from or with cryptocurrency. Here's a phone script, a call script that you can have your own. This is one that I put together. You want to call and say, "Hello, my name is Brian Stone. Hello, may I speak to Bill Wilson? Mr. Wilson, my name is Brian Stone. I saw your ad and it said you're interested in selling a car. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? I want to know if you have a couple of minutes to chat." Yeah, okay. You want to build a rapport. Um, are you firm on the price? Where are you located? How long have you had it? The goal is to ask questions, open them up, get them relaxed, talking so that you can open up different ways of selling something and ask them, are you open to creative ways of selling something? The conversation could end there. The conversation could go more than likely. They're going to be interested in tell me a little bit more about what you have and what you're offering. Then I go on and say, have you heard about crypto assets? Or can I interest you in what I'm selling? Whatever they are selling, have you heard about crypto assets? If I could show you a way to sell your item to me and make even more money, would you be interested in listening to my offer? More than likely, they're going to say yes. Can I then at that time, this is the perfect time for you to send them, stop right there, send them the information. Okay. Because what's this do? One, it shows them that you're interested, but yet you're going to give them the time to look at the information. But it also gives you a chance to go back and call them again. So in the conversation from there up, if there was something that they weren't sure about or they were kind of not, kind of just not really convinced or whatever, but they're interested in listening, give them the information and let them take the time to review it and tell them that you'll call them back in a couple of days. Pick a time and a date to call them back and then answer any of their questions about Troptions. Always let them know if they're not interested, if they have a friend, family member, or someone that may be interested in hearing your offer. So you never know, never pass up. Always ask them for information. If you're not interested after you saw the information, I understand. But do you have a friend or family member that might be interested or is selling something that might be interested and open to hearing about the cryptocurrency that I have? Try to always walk away with someone's name. Very important. And if they say no, make sure that you still have them take your number and the information, because just because they say no, they may be talking to somebody later on in that day and having the conversation with them and telling them about your offer. And those people might um, want to talk to you. So always try to leave your number. And that way, it's very important to leave them with the email information, because I've seen people that said no on the first time send that information out to 3 or 4 of their friends, and their friends have called and I've bought something from their friends. So that's very important to always try to walk away with the information and leaving them information of with your number and the information so that they may be able to help you. Remember, word of mouth is the strongest um, selling tool there is, and that's why always leave them the information, always get their number or have them give you a number of somebody else, or have them give your number to somebody else. Very important. It becomes very easy then, because one of the things that I think a lot of people that are involved in Troptions get is um, they get what's the word I'm trying to use, where they almost panic of, well, how am I ever going to find anybody? How am I ever going to, I don't know. A lot of that is because, one, they're not confident in what they're talking about and they don't feel comfortable in it, because believe me, if you're comfortable and confident in what you're talking about, not only are you going to talk to people, but people are going to bring people to you. Most of the deals that I do now, I don't go find. I have people that are bringing deals to me. And that's another thing you can do that we don't have on here is you can employ people to bring deals to you and cut them in on the action. I have 5 or 6 guys that all they do is bring deals. Now they do other things, but when they hear a good deal, they know that what I'm looking for. When they hear of somebody that might be looking for a balance sheet enhancement or being able to use the Troptions as an asset or a guarantee or collateral or what they something that they're selling, a business or whatever. These guys bring those deals to me. Now they go out and they tell the people, here's what we have. And if the people are interested, then the next step is they call me up and they say, hey, Brian, I got a guy and he's willing to do this and he needs this and he's interested in talking. Are you interested in talking? I always say, absolutely, I'm interested in talking, but have you given him the information package yet? Yes, we did, and he's interested in taking the next step. Perfect. They just solved a whole lot of problems and brought me a deal a whole lot faster. And I got them out there. They know that if I do the deal, they're going to get a percentage of both. If it's a cash deal or a Troptions deal, they're going to get a percentage in either or. So always get your number out there, whether the people say no. If they say yes and you do a deal with them, again, tell them you want friends and family. If they say no, again, tell them, can you give my number to somebody that might be interested that I can talk to that's interested in selling something? You should create your own script, do a couple different ways that various phone calls that you've had, how they went, how you answered it. Write it down so that you can. This is your pitch, your script, your phone call is your script. It's your pitch. It's very important to memorize it and to understand when people come at you with questions. Know your facts and understand what to say to them without the the key to closing a Troptions deal is confidence in what you say. Have the facts correct, have your pitch rehearsed, have a goal in mind and what you want from the deal, have your answers ready to their questions, um, have up to date information on cryptocurrency in the world, just like I talked to you about Musk and Tesla buying it. Those are things that I throw out right away because we've been doing that, talking about Troptions on balance sheets for 2 years. He comes out and what he did was solidify everything that we've been talking about. So know the facts, know what's going on, know who's doing deals, be able to drop a name like Tesla. Oh, by the way, did you hear Tesla? Tesla's been just bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. You know why? Oh, why? I didn't hear that. Or I heard they did, but I didn't understand why they did. Well, they did it as a balance sheet enhancer. Oh, wow. Well, what's that mean? Well, that's the same thing that Troption does. You can use it as an asset, as a balance on your balance sheet to increase the value of their balance sheet. Here's an interesting point I saw today. Since Tesla bought that, their balance sheet, the Bitcoin investment has gone up $500 million. And that was earlier this week or the end of last week when that deal went through. So within 7 days, their balance sheet assets grew $500 million. Very impressive. Um, have your free wallet set up on your phone so that you can show people that right then and there so that you have something on your phone. Everybody's carrying their phones. You want to be able to show the people um, the deal and how to move your Troptions. Have your closing statement ready. Know how to close the people. Don't leave it open ended. Go in for the close. Are you ready to close the deal? What do you think? Let's do this deal. Are you ready to get involved with something and an asset that's going to continue to grow? And remember to tell them that if I gave you $1,000 In a year from now, that $1,000 is probably going to be $998 because by the time the fees and everything else are taken out, with Troptions, in a year from now, it could be more. Now, I always let people know cryptocurrency goes up and down, up and down, up and down. We're more of a stable coin, so we're not going to be bouncing like the speculative coins like Bitcoin that can hit 48,000 and could be down to 40 or 38 next week. Um, we're stable. We're steady as she goes. It's an asset that people can put on their balance sheet. They can use it in so many different ways. These are all the things that you want to, again, repeat to them, but be ready to make a closing and close the deal. Let the people know that you're there when they need you, if they need you, if they have questions. But let's move forward with the deal and get your first deal done. The first deal is always, will always be the hardest. Don't get discouraged with no. Don't let others tell you. No one will take your Troptions. No one has heard about Troptions. You can't trade anything for your Troptions. Plan on people telling you no at first till you get your pitch down. Every no is closer to a yes, and don't oversell your asset. Be patient with new buyers. Every no is closer to a yes. Colonel Sanders went to 1,000 gas stations to get Kentucky Fried Chicken started. 1,000 said no, but yet he got one yes. And he ended up being a billionaire because of the one yes. So don't let people say no. And don't let that no discourage you, because no is nothing but one thing that people will say no about is one, because they don't understand what you're talking about. So immediately they'll just say no. Like attorneys. If you try to do a deal with an attorney, with a client and the attorney, and the attorney doesn't understand the deal, the first thing the attorney's going to say is tell him no. That's his opinion is no, and that's gonna be his advice to the client. The client doesn't understand why the attorney says no. I understand why the attorney says no, because the attorney doesn't know anything about that. So it's safer for him to say no and scrub the deal than for him to tell the client to, yeah, it sounds like a great deal, go ahead and do it. So if there's an attorney out there, sorry, but that's just been my opinion. And my works with my attorneys is that if they don't understand, they'll immediately just say no. Let's not no. Let's not do that deal. Only because they don't understand. Once they understand and they see that there can be money made, things normally change. So don't let no discourage you in any way, shape, or form, because you're just closer to the yes. It's time to make the next step and buy something. Now, this part of the video, we're going to go to the next one, and then that's where I ask, or you ask, if you are not only looking at the video as far as recording, but if you are doing this video Zoom call with somebody else and you're giving the pitch, the next slide is we're ready to buy something. So I want to take the time now for somebody that is interested in buying something, to buy something. Somebody on the call. Let's practice. We'll open up the microphones for everybody. And this is the time, Jim, at the pitch where let people start, somebody buying a lawnmower. Tell me your pitch and let's get started. So this is a perfect time to let everybody on the Zoom call buy something or sell something and practice. There's no better practice than to be with your peers and listen to your peers curtail and critique you. Um, there's many people on this phone call or on this Zoom that have bought thousands of different things with Troptions. So listen to them. Hopefully, if you're with somebody, like I say, and you're doing this pitch yourself, this is the time when you would let them start asking questions. But this is a time where you can hear from other people that have actual experience in buying and selling and using something, using their Troptions to buy something. Also, I always say at the end of the videos is it's time to get with the person that told you about Troptions so you can get started. So you can get started. Over here to the right is something that we did, one of our first purchases. Like I always say, Bitcoin's first purchase was 2 pizzas. Our real first purchase with Troptions was Liberty Lodge in Branson, Missouri. We bought actually 3 more hotels in Branson, Missouri, using Troptions, part cash. So this is a place where if you see this Zoom, we invite you. And if you're on the call or on the Zoom call, we invite you to get back to the person that invited you here, ask them the questions, find out how you can get involved, and take the next step in learning about Troptions and how Troptions can actually change your life, because with Troptions, everything is possible. That's it.